Hey folks, yours truly back again. Now this is how I justified to myself making another video today, because I was thinking to myself, man, you're just on here all the time lately, even though I'm not, but I'm making a lot of videos. And I get feedback that many of you enjoy it, but I also get concerned about folks that probably get annoyed, and that's just the way it is. But I thought to myself this. Just got back from my walk and going down to the market, seeing what's going on. It's hot today. It's almost 100 degrees here. Whew. So anyway, I did pick up some vinyl, and I thought to myself, okay, I haven't really been talking about Dereck 2 because I'm waiting for the test pressing. I got the artwork. I showed the proofs of the art to Jeff last night, so he got to see what it's going to look like. And I'm, excuse me, waiting for the test pressing. So I haven't really been talking about it. And so I thought, and so I just kind of assume that when I'm not talking about it, I'm not really going to be generating any sales. So I thought to myself this, okay, I'll go and check my account and see, if there's any activity, I'm going to make a video, almost like it's saying it's okay. I think some of you psychologically understand what it is I'm dealing with inside. Sure enough, there were sales. There were new sales. I haven't been talking about the record. So I really just assumed that, out of sight, out of mind, but I had more sales. So I said, okay, I want to make a video. I'm going to make a video. So this is a vinyl update and some more 10s, okay? Might be another long one, might not. But the first thing is hopefully the test pressing comes in next week, and then I'll be talking, yakking it up even more, especially if the test pressing is good. But and then another aspect of my records is when I stopped in at the antiquarium, when I go there to shop, but I also check to see, have they sold that last copy of Dereck 2, and they did. I was really pleased to look on the wall and it was gone. I said, "Oh, did you sell the last copy?" And he said, "Yeah," and he even could tell me the name of the person. I don't know them. It's someone that knows me. So that's very satisfying, And so what I did was I used the credit to pick up some vinyl. I want to thank Ryan again, Pancake Repairman. He had messaged me again and had mentioned a band called Black Swan. Well, while I was down at the antiquarium, I saw this record and I wasn't sure if he had said Black Swan or Black Swans, so I took a chance on this. It's not the band you're talking about. Excuse me. But for the moment, I'm glad that I picked this up because it's called the Black Swans Change. It's a real neat package. It's limited edition of 500. All the covers are individually hand-painted by an artist collective of folks with mental illness. There's information on the inside here. Something I definitely am into, that whole idea of promoting direct involvement with folks who are usually marginalized. Isn't this cool? It's a painting. They painted it. It's really cool. 500 copies. I just played the first couple songs, and it'll stay for a while. I like the moodiness of it. It's kind of got that kind of alt country thing going on, but there's something about the mood, the way it starts, that I like it. I like it right away. Information about the record, and this is about the art on the inside. So, because I wasn't sure if Ryan had said Black Swan or Black Swans, I took a chance on this today. And like I said, at this point, for a number of reasons, I'm happy to have taken the chance on this, and just need to really give it a listen. Black Swans, though, really cool. The next two I just traded straight for my Dereck 3 sales, excuse me, for these. I got to talk about these for a minute too, because I was just talking about how I'm not much of a rocker, which I'm not anymore. So what do I find that I want for my collection? Slayer, Show no mercy. Now I have to explain. I picked these up because these are collectible reissues. This one is cool red vinyl. Now I have to be honest with you. I saw Slayer live a long time ago with Anthrax and Megadeth. Awesome show. I popped this on, and at this point, I can't take this music seriously. It's like a cartoon to me. It really is. The other thing is, I've always thought this too, that so many of these metal albums, I just hate the way they're produced. I wish that I could produce them to my liking. So this is one for the collection, not one to listen to. Rain and Blood is the most, of course, no, they made some good stuff after that, but that was the one that I bought and really got into. So that one I still actually, when I'm in the mood for some Slayer, I listen to Rain and Blood. But again, no diss. It's just about who I am. This music is cartoony to me. I can't take it seriously. Hell Awaits, Slayer. So I'm happy to have these for my collection. I used to have a couple others. I sold them. But I went ahead and grabbed these. I traded, like I said, I got these, not free, but you know what I'm saying? For the credit on my Dereck 3 sales. Nice. Yeah, I like that for the collection. I think, to be honest, the adolescent in me does like how the band Slayer kind of puts up its finger to, you know, a lot organized religion. You know, you folks that know me know about my trauma with this. But when I look at the lyrics really don't make any sense. So I'm happy to have these as collector's items, but not as something I'm going to seriously listen to. Before I show you my 10's, I want to show you some records that I played this morning. Memphis Vinyl Jim and the Missus, I played My Animated Egg, Thinking About You this morning. This is an album that I bought for, honestly, it was something I wanted more for its collectability than to listen to. The guitarist behind all these projects was a great unknown. And as you can hear on the tracks, he could play his butt off. He could play anything. And so there's a wide variety of tracks that he did in the studio for different production companies, all collected on this album. And that was partially why I wanted it. I remember the original Animated Egg. I never had it, but in hindsight, I would have loved to have had a copy of it for the collection. So this is good. It's good music, well played. More of a collector's item for me than this represents what excites me musically. I just really always want to clarify that, you know. There is an aesthetic. There is something I'm looking for when I listen to music. And then I know when it's not there. A couple other things I listened to this morning, and everything that I listened, 3 more things, then I'll show some more 10's. All 3 of these were wonderful. I'll go in the order I listened. I listened to Good Arrows by Tongue. Man, fantastic, modern kind of UK folk, psych, alt rock, not rock, music. I love the way that they blend acoustic instruments. The feeling of the way they sing is kind of like in a folk sense, like we're sitting around singing to each other, mixed with a lot of ambient sounds, clicky-clacky noises. This is excellent. Good Arrows. I'd like to get some more on vinyl by these guys. I've got another album of theirs on the computer. It was noticeably, I'm just still shaking my head at how noticeable when I dropped the needle on this fantastic high-quality turntable. It's just immediate once the music starts. The difference. Whew. And with that in mind, here's a jazz record that I don't know is recognized. It's not like it's a fantastic date, but it's a damn good one. Buddy Terry, Pure Dynamite on Mainstream. Bought this years ago because of who's on it. I didn't know who Buddy Terry was, but look who's on this motherfucker. Woody Shaw, Eddie Henderson, Kenny Barron, Joanne Burkeen, Stanley Clark, Chezaji, Billy Hart, Lenny White, Ayrton, Mtume. My goodness. With that kind of lineup, if you make some bad music, everybody needs to go. That's a bad day if these people can't make good music. This is dynamite. The title is correct. This is pure dynamite. This, in my opinion, there I did it. Let me stop. This is a lost great session. This smokes. This smokes. I'm wondering, Secka Funk, do you have this or anything by Buddy Terry? Anybody else? Right away, I think of folks like Secka Funk. I'm even thinking of you, Words DB 71. I know you haven't been watching, but you might watch this. Anders. Who are my jazzers? Who are my jazzers? Jazz people. Anybody else got this? Because I think this would be very satisfying to the majority of you jazzers. This is quality. This is a quality date. This was really, really jamming. There's a very excellent Stanley Clark bass solo on. There's a side-long track on here, and towards the end of it, Stanley does a sweet, sweet solo. Buddy Terry, pure dynamite. Anybody else got anything by this man or got this album? Let me know. Another band I ought to feature sometime from Leeds, from the end of the 70s and going into the 80s, that had that heavy sound that I like. Post Joy Division, Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry. These guys are, I think, incredible for what they were doing. And they didn't even have a drummer. They used a drum machine. Like Sisters of Mercy, they took it to another level. They made it work. And this is the first record I heard by them, Monkeys on Juice. Still kicks my head. And I was thinking, okay, I haven't played this in a while. This is probably going to, you know, I used to love this song, was what I was thinking. I haven't played this for years. So I'm thinking it can't, I really doubt it's going to kick my butt like it used to. This sounded great. I'll have to do a feature on these guys. I got several of their records. A heavy, kind of almost industrial Joy Division sound with the deep, kind of mysterious vocals. Chris Reed, I think was the guy's name. Love his voice. Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry. Excellent. This sounded excellent, okay? So that's some of the music I played today. I just pulled a few more 10's. And thank you for the feedback, people. Thank you for letting me know that you're enjoying me sharing with you my 10's. Because I'm enjoying it too. And it's something I've been wanting to do ever since I got started, is to show you my favorite albums. That's really what I'm showing you. Is these are my favorite albums. They're 10's. This album, if you check it out, the first thing you'll notice is that it sounds dated. Production-wise. But if you get past that and listen to the songs, this album is fantastic. The Dolphin Brothers. This is a side project from two members of the band Japan, Steve Jansen and Richard Barbieri. I follow them closely. Whenever they put music out, I try to get a hold of it. It's so good. This is fantastic. Moody, atmospheric at times, and then danceable at times. This is so good that I sought out the Japanese CD with an extra track. I was on the hunt for it for years, and I finally got it, because that extra track is worth it. It's like, I always thought that was interesting back in the day, in the late 70s and 80s, as I started to become aware of Japanese imports, how bands that are really loved in Japan, how many times the extra tracks that they give the Japanese only are some of the best tracks. It's like, what's up with that? Weird to me. Dereck Collum looms large in my life, musically. He really does. He is an influence on me, but not directly in that I like to try to play like Vinny. But the atmosphere of his guitar playing definitely is in the way that I try to play. One of his albums that is a 10 for me is LC. magnificence. The Missing Boy is a song off of here. Oh, so beautiful, so sad, so in a beautiful way, in a melancholy, beautiful way. LC, you really call it? It's another 10. I love Gentle Giant. For me, the album of theirs that is a 10 for me is The Power and the Glory. I can come back to this again and again and again. Fantastic. 10. This is a monster prog album, in my opinion. Monster. Fantastic. The Power and the Glory. Gentle Giant. Huge. This album is huge. Okay. This one may come to some of you as a surprise, but this really is one of my 10s. It is. But it's also an album that everyone knows. Thriller. Yeah, this is a 10 for Dereck. I'm not showing this because I think it's a 10 because the world thinks so. This is a 10 for me. Thriller. And I didn't get into it right away. Matter of fact, I wanted to diss it. You know, Off the Wall was great. I never bought it, but I loved Off the Wall. And then the way that people were talking about Thriller when it came out, the hype, I just did not like it. So when I finally bothered to listen to it, well, that took care of that. 10. Let's keep going. Magma, 1001 degrees centigrade. Now, if I had their first album on vinyl, which Big Star 1000, you dog, you got one, don't you? I'd probably show that one, but their first two albums is where they lay the groundwork for the whole Cobain mythology. This is so powerful, so imaginative. It really is a rock version of John Coltrane. I get it. I do understand that. And I agree that Christian Vander, from the beginning, you got it. It's in there. The John Coltrane thing that's got you fired up. I hear it. I feel it too. 10. 1001 degrees centigrade. Magma. Fan-frickin-tastic. Allan Holdsworth is probably my top favorite guitarist to listen to. Not that he's the best. He's just my personal favorite. The one that I return to more and more and more. He doesn't sound widdly woodly noodly to me. It sounds, I hear what he's saying. I feel it. And so the album that I'll say is the closest to a 10 that I have on vinyl is Sand. Love this album. Wardenclyffe Tower is my favorite by him, but I don't have it on vinyl. But this is a 10 as well. Pudwood. And then the one song that has the solo in here that I just cannot get enough of. Distance versus Desire. What a guitar solo. I'm not going to say nothing about any of the guitar players. I'm just going to say this is the guitar player. Everyone is talking about all this feeling and emotion being wrung out of the notes by all these other players. That's what I hear in his playing, and I don't hear. This man is singular. Stands alone to my ears. Allan Holdsworth. Amazing. This is such a 10, this next album, such a 10. Ralph Towner with Glenn Moore. Trios and solos. This album is so, God. This captures the moment. This captures a time in their lives. This was made back in 1972. And it's like they captured the day. Even though this might have happened over several days. It's like it captures like a photograph, even better than a photograph, like a hologram. That's what I like about music, is it, you hear it and you're there. This is one of my top, this is also a top 10 album of mine, definitely. I love this album. So heartfelt, the playing, so beautiful, the compositions. 10. Once again, this is a no bullshit 10 album for Dereck. Trout Mask Replica. I'm getting into some of my roots now on this one that you may recognize, because this is a 10. I had to work so hard at understanding what the fuck this record was about. And it has done nothing but enrich my ability to understand music, hear it. This is all about the blues, but this is the way I want to hear it. This is such a blues album. This really is. This is a blues album. This is the way I like it. 10. For me personally, this is the 10. Sgt Pepper, yeah. This is it. This is my 10 for the Beatles. Another Roots album. First song I ever learned on the guitar. Heart of Gold. 10! I know that folks that love Neil Young probably will name many other of his other albums that are probably better. They probably are. I don't know all of his albums. This one has the most meaning for me personally, which has a lot to do with what makes it a perfect 10. Not only that, but the songwriting, the playing, the capturing of a moment. Did Neil Young do it on this album, among others? This is special. This is a special album. 10! Another one that may seem obvious, because it is. It's definitely a 10 album for me in so many ways. King Crimson's first album. This album is known. I don't have to talk about it. If this cover doesn't say something to you, then there's nothing that anyone can say. 3 more. 10. Matching Mole's Little Red Record. 10. Shit. Eno busted out on this album in ways that he couldn't bust out on Roxy Music and other records. And the thing is, you have to listen closely to catch it, because that's what I love about Eno. It's like he's there and you don't even realize it. And the next thing you know, it's like, holy shit, what did I just hear? 10. 2 more. Hatfield in the North. This one is not always an easy ride. This album is not a comfortable listen to all the way through. But what it opens up, as well as what it does capture, when it captures it, there's moments on this album that are pure brilliance. But just the overall thing going on here with this album, Hatfield in the North, look at that cover. Look at that color. Try to catch it, okay? It's right there. You can see it. This is something special. This is something that deserves investigation. I mean, if I had never known anything about Canterbury or anything, and was just record shopping and saw this cover, I'd want to know, what the fuck is this? 10. My last 10 for today. Wigwam, Being. Once again, this one is not consistently all the way through the album amazing, but the points where it's amazing is like jaw-dropping. And what is interesting, I wish I had an original gatefold. This is on Love Records. I love that label, but it's a reissue because there's a gatefold version of this, which I've never seen a gatefold folded out. Anybody holding on to this want to show it to me? Very interesting that this is prog, but one of the biggest influences I hear on this album is Stevie Wonder. It's amazing. And it's prog, not soul. Prog. Love that label. Love. Thank you for the feedback, letting me know that you're enjoying me sharing my favorites, because that's really what this is. Thank you, Memphis Vinyl Jim and the missus, for your monthly contests, which spark all this. Thank you also, String Child. Thank you, everyone. Oh, I'm just digging it, okay? I'll see you soon.